Hello, this is Matthew Oates with Salient Process. In this video on Spark Ignition, I'm going to show you how to install the components for Spark Ignition and also show you how to bring in a IBM BPM process application that has been enabled with Spark Ignition. So you might actually need this if you come by our booth. Be sure to check out our Spark Ignition page, and we have a BYOP opportunity for those attending Interconnect, or if you're watching this video afterwards, we can actually do this for you, even if you weren't able to attend Interconnect. But essentially, we can build a process for you that you've built in BlueWorks Live, and essentially give you a version of Spark Ignition Community Edition so that you can take home something from Interconnect and essentially have created a useful process application with us at Interconnect. So definitely be sure to check that out. And this will essentially show you how you can get started with that. So I'm in a process center right now, so I'm going to log into my process center. And you'll see I don't have anything with Spark Ignition here. I have, another Discover Spark app. I see Spark UI here, but I don't have anything with Spark Ignition. So the first thing that I want to do is import the Spark Ignition Administration app. So you might have a different version of this whenever you get access. Not necessarily this version here, but it's all the Spark Ignition Administration Process app is the first thing you want to bring in. It's going to bring in that. That's also going to bring in the Ignition Toolkit itself. It'll bring in UI and the Spark Common Utilities toolkits as well. I already have those, so in this example, it's not going to bring those in, but it has everything you need there to use Spark Ignition. All right, so that's the first thing that we will import, and when it gets done importing, let's just now import, well actually, you know what, let's take a look at this administration tool here. So this time I'm going to go to the process portal. Spark Ignition Administration by default gives you access to the dashboards from your portal if you're in the admins group. So you can change that if you want to, but for now you'll see all of these Spark Ignition things now show up in the portal. So I'll go ahead and let myself be able to see the maintain activities and maybe ready for ignition. Those are the two that I like to show in my portal. All right, so let's first take a look at maintain activities. So in maintain activities, this is essentially the administration page to use Spark Ignition. So the only thing we need to do to essentially make our environment ready is to establish the persistence that's needed to keep up with activity templates and to render this to users. So I'm going to go and maintain activities here, and then I'm going to go to manage database, and I'm just going to create the ignition schema. So what this is doing is creating the schema in the default Teamworks database data source. If you have an external data source you want to use, it will, just point it to that data source, and it'll work with that as well. We support Oracle, DB2, and SQL Server. So you can have that. If you, for whatever reason, don't grant the default kind of admin user access to be able to create and drop schemas in external systems, you can always download the DDL file and have your database administrator be able to set up the databases for you. But Spark Ignition is easy to use if you just want to go with the default approach, so you don't have to worry about any of that if you're just going to take the default approach and have the schema in the Teamworks DB. All right, so now essentially our environment is ready for Spark Ignition. So what we want to do next in this video is actually, okay, let's bring in a process, right? We don't have any processes here. We don't have any activities. So again, following with the principle that IBM BPM is getting easier and easier to use, and we really think that's the right approach for customers to do. If something can be done in IBM BPM tooling, let's just use that tooling. So we're going to go to the Process Center, and just like you do today, if you want to import a process app, you can go to the Process Center and import a process app. All right, so I have this request a demo process. It's just a Twix file. it's already had Spark Ignition applied to it. So check out the other videos to see, how you can generate processes from BlueWorks Live diagrams or create them from scratch. But this has already been applied. This would be the same type of thing that you might get from the booth if you come by Interconnect, or if you do a demo with us, we'll build one of your processes for you during a demo and give you this Twix file. So here is the process. It's gotten imported now. Okay, so the last thing that you need to do to make sure all of your information is here for request a demo or whatever process that you're using is you want to bring in the activity templates. So we're going to go back to the process portal here. Now that we have the admin app and our actual process app here, we're going to go to maintain activities. And see the activities aren't here yet. What we need to do is actually import these definitions. So I'm going to click on Import Definitions in the Manage Database. I'll open this. This is just the XML file that has all of my data here. And I'll press Import. Now it's imported all of that information. So this is fantastic. Now if I go back, you can actually see that all of the activity information is here. So why don't you now actually can also see that Request a Demo is available because we imported the process app. So when I run Request a Demo, it's going to take a little bit to load, and then all of my information is here. So you can see in about 6 minutes we can get started with Spark Ignition completely from scratch, and now we have the ability to extend this if we want to add new processes. This is all set up to have more processes added from BlueWorks Live, and you're all good to go. Be sure to check out the other videos. Check us out at our booth at Interconnect. I'll be there and be able to create processes for you at our booth. I'm not sure anyone else has actually been able to do free consulting for customers at our booth and give them Twix files to take home, and that's what we're going to be doing. So looking forward to seeing you at Interconnect, and have a good day.